Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. I'm Cody. He is Andy. It is Tuesday morning, October 7th, about 11:10 Eastern Time, 10:10 Central Time.
10:10.
Andy, how you doing on this beautiful Tuesday?
You know what? We had a nice little rainstorm last night. It's been over a month since we got any rain.
We need it.
We do need it.
We need it.
Needed it.
Sounds like we're going to get what you guys are getting right now in about 5 hours. So,
I mean, that's like the obligatory, like, let's talk about the weather kind of thing. Like, how's it going? Well,
Right.
The weather.
Yeah.
What you didn't comment on is the peacock that I have in my hand.
Oh,
About that. Got some henna over the weekend. You know, I was just waiting for you to say, is it a peacock on your hand? Because I can't really tell. So
I couldn't even see it until you pointed it out.
I think, we could probably do a little henna for you right here if you want to. Get you lined up.
Could do.
Right in the forehead.
Could make it work.
All right. We have 3 charts today. 2 of them came at request.
2 from one of our OG listeners, Norma from Texas.
We love Norma.
Norma wants to see Dry Whey and get this one, Tesla.
Are you getting a Tesla?
After talking to Norma, I might have to.
Wait, would you get a Cybertruck or would you get a just like
Cybertruck.
You get a Cybertruck. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, like I said, Norma's got 2. We've got also this first one here is butter, and it's one that like it didn't come specifically at request, but it's one it comes up in conversation a lot. So why not? This is Spot Butter, a weekly, obviously a gigantic break. From this high, you're talking about nearly $1 per pound. I mean, we got super close to 160 2 weeks ago. So what is this low? 162. I mean, you look at this, that high is 262. So from this high to this low, you're talking about literally $1 per pound. Like to the number, $1 per pound. And we're starting to run into, I don't know if you can call this like a bullish, like reversal pattern just yet, but you're definitely starting to run into some traffic where a lot of volume is changing hands.
Yep.
And the futures market, it's taking out the premium, but it's still a premium. And so, I don't know, I guess the question is, do we start to see this round out? You had this bad boy on here. I think you talked about this one too.
What, 5 cents to hit the first gap at 155?
155, double nickel, and then 140 basically fills this one. So
I still think we're going there. Both.
Which one?
I think both. I think we're going to $1.40. By the time we get to December 15th, I think you'll see that $1.40 gap get filled.
Okay. Like you think about what we always talk about, like, is this like the best the bulls or bears can do in response to like a big move, right? And so far, again, from high to low, the market has shaved $1 per pound.
Yeah.
Right? We're not there on a like flat price basis today, but in terms of from its high to its low, the market has taken $1 per pound out. Started to run a lot of support in terms of volume, but the price action is suggesting that we still have more downside to go. Because we always talk about if you run into a place where there's a lot of volume and then move away from that price, volume is a great confirmation of price action. You don't get any volume and you move to a price, like nobody believes in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I think the death nail for what you're talking about, going to 140, it's getting super close to like do or die time for that. Because again, you're getting a ton of volume. The futures are still premium, but here we are. If we could get it closed below this low, so 162, then I think it's a quick trip to 140. I totally agree with you because you'll get all this volume changing hands. And again, like this is the best that the bulls can do after a $1 break and being super discounted to the rest of the world. It's not like, it's not like the rest of the world's at 160.
Well, and we got global dairy trade happening this morning. It's one of those ones where we were on a 2-week hiatus. So GDT's coming out hopefully here in the next 2 hours. It's going pretty long so far. I mean, it's been a long GDT this morning, but I got a lot of emails and calls last week of like, oh, you're so bearish. This can't happen. We're not going to go there. The more people say that, the more I'm just like, yeah, I do believe we are. I do believe we're going to see $1.40, maybe even lower than that butter.
What popped into my mind as soon as you said that was the expression famous last words.
Exactly.
Especially in trading. It can't go here.
Exactly. And then it does.
Hold my protein latte and watch this.
But it's like, if you can't move butter, if you can't get something, like you said, the best the bulls can do right now is a little bit of a rally from last week, the end of last week. That's the best we got. It's not like we've retraced half of that move. What is that? Not even 5% of that move?
Barely. Yep. I mean, it's nothing. In the grand scheme of things, going from 162, sitting now 169.5, that's nothing. We saw that in a day on the way down. I mean, this is from 223.5 to 186 in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's taken 1, 2, now 3, going on 3 weeks to have 7 cents worth of support. That's nothing.
Nothing.
So yeah, I agree. So what will be like the inverse of that is if you can't get a close here, probably in the next like 2 weeks below 162, and you start to kind of carve out this bottom and you start to consolidate a little bit, maybe that starts to bring in the buy side because, you know, you see it a lot where like, buyers, they don't want to try to catch the falling knife. They want to actually wait to get more confirmation. Who can blame them in this market, right? You want to wait to get more confirmation, then get more aggressive with price. So I think the most bullish thing for this market, and I always butcher this when I say this, but a way to get a market to stop going down. See, I just did it again. I totally butchered it. A way to get a market to go up is to get it to stop going down, and vice versa. And so if people are expecting or looking for a butter rally, I think the first thing you have to do is to get it to stop going down.
Yeah, exactly. And what is that going to take down here?
I think we need to consolidate around this, call it like 170 area. And if we keep trading a ton of volume, and then conversely, like you've got some gaps on the way up, obviously right here, like between these two guys, there's a little one right there. There's this one obviously filled this one. You've got some gaps that could theoretically be filled. I think there is some concern about the potential, like let's say we run into a big promotional activity, like especially with the holidays right around the corner, and all of a sudden a bunch of butter gets cleaned up unexpectedly, maybe more than expected or whatever it is, and you get this big V bottom, maybe. But I think if you're looking for a reason to buy butter, I think it has to be, again, to get it to go up, you have to get it to stop going down. I think we have to see a period of consolidation, probably like this, for several weeks. Let people kind of like the dust settle, and it's just like, well, I guess this is it.
Yeah, because so far we haven't seen a consolidation for weeks. Unless you go back to that time frame right there in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, if we're going to see an end to this, I think you have to see some sort of consolidation. I'd be more suspicious of we just like rip higher. I guess I would be suspicious of that. Like probably more of a rally. Yeah, head fake, more of a rally to sell. If you get like this type of action, yeah, that would be more, I guess, bullish than if we just, because I think that would be a rally to sell. But I agree. This 140, you talked about it. I've certainly heard the same thing. It can't happen, won't happen. It's too cheap. I remember when I started in 2008, people talking about $2 butter being too expensive, right? So yeah, it's always a death nail. It can't happen. Famous last words. Trust me, it can, and then some.
Exactly.
So yeah, like I said, I think we're in agreement. You get a close below 162. I think it's just lights out for it, and you get like another big push. We get, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we're here, if we're still kind of putting around this 170 price by the end of the quarter, I think that's more bullish than anything. So we'll see.
But long ways away. We shall see.
It is a long ways away. So I kind of mentioned it already. The $9 or $10 protein latte. You said you had a few last week.
They're good.
They're good. This is Spot Dry Whey. Now, obviously, they're not taking physical dry whey and sprinkle it into the latte. Like that's not what's happening. But the protein market especially is just on fire here. And what's interesting is that the spot market, it's had a nice gradual rally. It came well off the highs. That's a massive move. 74 down to 45. Huge move for that market. Big implications for class 3. What is that? 30 cents? 30 cents a pound, 6 cents per hundredweight, $1.80. You talk about $2 a hundredweight, basically, without moving cheese. So when whey wants to move and be influential in the class 3 space, it can and does. So yeah, I look at this and say, like, this thing is still trending higher. It's made a new high in this move. And sure, it's coming off the highs, but not a ton. At its high is basically 65 and we're trading at 63. I think what we're due for is a test of this trend.
Yeah, I think so too. And I guess kind of backing it up a little bit, what Andy and I are talking about is about a week ago, was it last week Monday? Starbucks came out with a new drink at all of their locations. It is a protein-based drink, and essentially what it is you go in, I think they have, what I saw was 3 flavors that is filled with protein, and then they have a cold foam that is also filled with 15 grams of protein. And Matt Gould and myself were traveling together last week, and we stopped in and got, what's the large one? The largest one you can get, Venti, I think it is, at Starbucks. And talked to the lady who was making it, one of the managers at the store, and she had showed us how she made it. And essentially what it is you get anywhere from 40 to 50 grams of protein, depending on the size of the drink that you have. And what is in that essentially is WPI, whey protein isolate, to make the protein for these drinks. And so when this came out, we had talked to her in the morning. This is on a Wednesday. We said, how have sales been? She's like, oh, it was okay on Monday. Tuesday was better. What she had noticed is people coming from the gym in the afternoon, because you can also get it sugar-free. and buying this protein drink for around $10. I don't know where else you're going to find a drink like that with that much protein in there.
Or a meal.
Or a meal. Exactly. And so for that reason, I think that's why we were talking to Norma. If you want to check out Dry Whey, because what would the implication be? And depending on who you talk to in the company, there could be some pretty good implications of a rip on Dry Whey here.
I have a hard time seeing it being bearish.
Agreed.
Put it that way. I mean, you could certainly make the argument that maybe it's not as bullish as some others may think. I have a difficult time seeing that being as like, wow, that's super bearish, that there's 50 grams of protein in this new drink, new demand.
Exactly.
New protein demand.
Exactly.
And the other piece of it too is does it drive the potential for like a fast follower? A company like a McDonald's, for I'll just pick on them. Do they show up and are like, wow, this is really successful. It's driving people into the store. We could do that too.
Yeah.
We'll see. But to me, like the technical piece of it, it's trading along this nice uptrend, but it's also doing it in a way that's not like, it's not this. This is unsustainable price action. Huge break, but it's just not that rate of change. It's just not sustainable. This, like when you get this nice stair step up, that's a nice, healthy uptrend. So I guess the next step here is, do we go test this? And it just like, I feel like the testing of it was going to coincide with, let me just do this right there. So you tested it again. What price is that? Basically 60 cents, 60.5 cents. If it tests that price and then bounces off of this trend, I think that's a really healthy sign of a continued rally. I think 60 cents is going to be kind of make or break for this market. Could we go test it and trade 59.5? Sure. But if we trade 59.5 and then go trade 61 and bounce off this, then the next step is testing this high of 64.75. But I think that's what we're going to go do is break and then come, because the whey futures really they haven't gotten going yet.
Correct.
And we really haven't seen the NAS or the NDPSR like respond to these high, like,
right.
The NAS can be slow.
I think, NAS has been printing like 58.
It's
58.
been very sideways. So
it just doesn't move.
But it's also like, I've, in the past we've noticed when the NAS starts to move, it's a freight train. Like it's tough to get it to stop in either direction.
Yeah.
So like I said, my gut is that we come back down and test this trend and then let's see what happens. But you've got a new, like potentially large demand function that's coming into the market that could be meaningful. We'll see.
It could be.
So you got yourself a protein latte and now you're getting yourself a Cybertruck. Let's go.
Fired up that Cybertruck.
Let's go.
Ooh, Tesla.
I don't know anything about Tesla Motors. Zero. And I mean, like, I know Elon's in charge and I know they make EVs.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. But this thing, like, when I look at this chart, what sticks out to me is this right here occurring after this. That's bullish. You have this big break, comes back, tries to break again, fails, but it also does it in a way that's kind of like this nice rounding U-shaped pattern, and then you get the breakout. And then after this price action, we talked about it with butter. This is the best that the bears can do. Technically, this closed, so this is a weekly. So this closed here at what, 421. Here we are at 444.5. This would be a new high close on a weekly basis. If we were here for the rest of the week, that's really good, solid price action. Big break, gets bought, tries to break again, fails, has a nice U shape, breaks out from that, has the breakout you're looking for, and then is cemented by like this kind of stair stepping higher. Like, where's the retracement of this candle?
Right.
Where's like the attempt to even get back into this? Zero. There's just nothing.
No.
This looks strong.
It looks very strong.
I mean, there's the daily. I mean, it looks the same as the weekly. It's just more spread out. What's interesting is that you had, I mean, it's every time it gets up to this 450 area, it's never closed above it on a weekly basis. So this would technically be a new high close on a weekly basis, which is super. But again, like this 450 area, man, if you break through this thing, it's just like, right to the moon. Let's go.
Going. Yeah.
So here's that rounding pattern just on the daily basis. So we talked about that rounding and then the breakout. Here's what this looks like on a daily basis.
Daily.
And so the lesson here is that like low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, all bumping up against this 350 area. So I think the technical term, if you just, sometimes you just kind of take in a little bit of faith and say like, this is probably like, since they bounced and came back in, you could consider like 350 still as resistance, right? So when you have these higher lows that keep bumping up against a clear horizontal line of resistance, like you call that an ascending triangle, that is a bullish. Well, I guess it culminates into where it can't keep doing that. Like right here, something's got to change. You can't keep having a higher low and then keep bumping up against the horizontal line. And so
you're kind of wedging yourself in
you're
there.
creating, exactly. You're just creating this wedge. And so like here, it's like, let's kind of do or die time. And so it's such a great trading setup because you're looking for the breakout to the upside. It is a bullish pattern, but really quickly if it fails. Like if you're a buyer here, let's just say you're buying it right at 350.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for a breakout. If it doesn't happen, you're out. Basically, you fill this gap, or you're really low, like it would be this low of 325. So you're owning at 350. You're getting out at 325 and taking a loss because it's no longer making a higher low. But look at the upside potential here it's always explosive from ascending triangles and descending triangles too. Same, just flip it. The same thing's true. So yeah, it's a great one. It's a great, like I said, I don't know anything about Tesla, but this is a great technical pattern. Obviously a great trade.
Now we just have to settle above 450.
Got to get the settlement above 450.
Okay.
So that's the next step. But again, let's say you're just trading this pattern. You got to be happy with making $100 a share and this was on the 11th of September. We haven't even been a month.
Right.
Huge move. So yeah, great trade there. Great example of the ascending triangle and higher lows and how powerful they can be.
Well, Norma, we appreciate both the charts that you wanted to look at, and Butter was also a good one. We have to keep our eye on because I think more people are going to talk about it the closer that we get to the holiday season. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. But with that being said, if anyone would like to see any charts, please let Andy and I know. We can look at them next week, take a little peek at them, shoot us an email, give us a call, hit us with a text, however you want to do it. Again, shout out to Norma. Thank you for being a valid listener and watcher and always giving us something new to look at. But yeah, Andy and I will be back together on another episode of Tech Talk. Until then, enjoy the weather that we've been having. Absolutely beautiful outside. Enjoy the rain. Finally getting a little bit of moisture in the air. Have a great rest of the week, an even better weekend. We'll see you guys next time on Tech Talk.
What a great outro. Really. You're so good at that.
Had to give the people something.
Gotta give them something.